Alright guys, how you doing? I got a very special video for you. My name is Milo. People call me Milo Nowhere. That's my author name. I am the author of 10 books now. So I'm really happy about that, and I got a lot more books coming out. And hopefully they'll help you in your ventures to come. But anyway, I want to talk to you about something special, something that I tried just 2 months ago. So about 60 days I've been practicing semen retention. A little bit about me. I've suffered from some severe anxiety disorder, major depression for damn near my whole life. Pretty much ever since I started jerking off, which was about 12 years old, and ever since I figured out what jerking off was, and how it makes you feel and all that. I haven't gone more than 2 weeks without doing it. So this is by far the longest I've gone without jerking off since before I started jerking off. And I just want to put this out there for some of you guys who may be considering it, or some of you guys who never even heard of it. Man, it's definitely, look, flat out, I'm gonna tell you right now, every man should practice semen retention. I feel like you shouldn't have an orgasm unless you're trying to make a baby. Flat out. Unless you know how to do the orgasms where you don't ejaculate. I've never had luck with that. I'm not even going to try, because your semen is so valuable. It's nothing to play with. It is nothing to play with. Nothing. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna give you a 10 benefits, and then you'll probably find some benefits within there. I'll just throw things at you, all facts. Okay, I have nothing to gain from telling you this except for, I have a world full of, men, like masculine men, not people who gotta fake like they're something they're not. Okay, so the first benefit, in no particular order, more energy. Okay, by far, I needed this. I needed more energy. Okay, so jerking off, makes you sluggish. It puts you in a position where you have to recover. So you can only imagine what happens when you got to recover from jerking off 3-4 times a day. You may say, "Oh, I'm productive. I get things done," but not in comparison to the version of you who hasn't been jerking off. So you have more energy. You have more willpower. You can put in more work throughout the day. Muhammad Ali, and I'm sure a lot of basketball players, I would probably think Russell Westbrook, abstain from having sex and things like that, which is not even necessarily what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to abstain from ejaculating. You can still have sex, and I do have a lot of sex, and I still enjoy it. And of course, my woman enjoys it, because I can go as many rounds as I want. I can go as many rounds as she wants to. If you had enough sex, and with let's say just one person, you've been in a relationship with her, there have been many times where she's like, "Oh, can you get it back up?" And I'm trying, and then let's say you do get it back up, you might be able to last a little longer, but the feeling won't be there, and you can be kind of you don't get those fucking rock fist hard dicks, and you just and really put them to work, you'll put them to sleep with that one, So that's one thing that I noticed off the bat. Also, you got to understand, I coupled this with other things. I had just given up. I've given up weed again. Like 2 weeks ago or so, almost 2 weeks, because it was taking away from my energy, and it was making me sluggish. And who I've become as a result of semen retention is kind of forcing me to do things that's going to benefit me. Obviously I like getting high, I like the way it feels, but I got a lot of responsibility out here. We got to get it. There's a lot that we have to do for our family, for ourselves and all that. We can't be selfish. So if you feel like it's taken away from your energy, then just don't indulge in it. But anyway, more fire, which is along the lines of more energy. But this is that, it's that part of you where it's like, man, you got me fucked up, okay? So long as you ain't doing no harm to anyone, you have the right to go after whatever you want to go after, okay? And this is that part of you that's just like, nobody gonna stand in my way. This is what I want, okay? And you can will yourself through certain things. It makes you go harder. Like, I mean, the downside of it is you might have a little attitude problem, but you can work on that. Meanwhile, you take that fire/energy and you just put in everything you got. That's what we call emotional labor. And people can tell when you got that fire in you, okay? Again, it's okay to have that fire in you, to be somewhat of a wild card. We need that, okay? The best heroes in this world could very well be a successful villain, okay? If you watch Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta is a greater hero than Goku. And I know it's a work of fiction. It's damn near a work of fiction because Vegeta's supposed to be the most powerful person on the show for many reasons. But anyway, more fire. And with that fire, you can push through things that most people can't. You're not going to reason with yourself like, oh, I can just put it off till tomorrow. I'm kind of tired. It's like, no, I got to get it now. And ain't nobody going to stand in my way. Okay? All right. And number 3, these are all kind of tied together, which is pretty cool. More confidence / less anxiety. Now, again, I suffered from anxiety for so long, and I did things that would perpetuate it. I would do low vibrational things, as a result, I would, jerk off a lot because I was so anxious, and I just wanted to feel good, But I was, there's much more to life than just jerking off because you feel bad and then curling up and watching a nice little rom-com or what have you. Just sit around watching TV and while your body's trying to heal, but it never quite will because, before you can even heal, because I believe it takes 100 days for your sperm to mature anyway. Before you can do all that, you jerking it out again, but more confidence in yourself, and people will notice. The women will notice. It's common knowledge that when you got more confidence, the women are attracted to that. You're not so desperate. You're not trying to come up with these corny ass punchlines or pickup lines to pick up women. Everything is on the straight, okay? Like, I don't need you. I got myself. I got my purpose. That's what I'm all about, okay? I don't need to chase pussy. All right? And me personally, I'm doing just well, okay? So you got to trust me on this one. This is not coming from a square. This is not coming from somebody who wants other people to not get pussy. You will get pussy, okay? Don't worry about all that, But keep your most powerful fluid within you. Which brings me to number 4. Sex feels better, okay? And I know what you're thinking. When you ain't coming a long time, you may face premature ejaculation. Now, the goal is, well, first of all, mind over matter. But the goal is to take your time, work yourself up, and if you get to the edge, just take a little break. Give your, I'm not really speaking on what homosexuals may do in the bedroom or whatever. I'm only speaking man to woman because that's just my experience. I have nothing against gay people, but you can also practice this too. I don't see why it wouldn't work for you as well. But anyway, the sex feels better, and so if you get to that point where you're about to come or whatever, you take a little break, you give your woman some head and things like that, work her up, finger her, all of that, and and it helps if you got a woman who can work with you. If this is somebody who's been your sexual partner for a while, you're probably having unprotected sex and all that. So for one, it's going to be much more sensitive. You're going to feel all of that. And 2, if you've been putting it down, she'll be able to work with you. Okay? And after a while, if you're focusing on your breathing, you're breathing right, you're not having shallow breaths, and you aren't going too hard, your dick gets used to it, and then you can continue. Okay? And you're gonna have a rock hard ass dick anyway, so you won't have to go that long to give her multiple orgasms. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know, my friends. You can have her squirting, all types of shit. I'm telling you what I know. Number 5. Oh wait, actually back to number 4, and you can go more rounds, which is obvious. You know, you go as many rounds as you want to. That makes you bulletproof, okay? So no longer will you have to deal with, oh, can you get it up, honey? And you like, well, I'm trying, whatever. No, you can get it back up. All right. Now number 5. You start seeing women for who they are. Oh my God. I mean, what better timing? Because I have a daughter now, and it's forcing me to be honest, okay? And I don't really see why I can't look at women as more than sexual objects. We're missing out, guys. I'm telling you the truth. I'm pretty rough around the edges, and I'm pretty blunt. I'm straight to the point. I like to tell women what I want, but I'm not playing games with them. I'm not playing any games. I'm not trying to sell them on something I don't want. Because again, I don't care if you have sex with me or not. I'm gonna have sex, okay? Either you with me or you're not, but I don't have to lie. Also, I would like to get women's perspective on things, the more masculine I am, the more feminine the women are, and then I really get to see their perspective on things, the way that they view things from an emotional aspect, and just things like that, really. And you get to see women for human beings, and they can tell. They really appreciate that. And as a result, they're attracted to that. Bruh, most men are in their inbox with these ulterior motives. Hey, wanna chill? Wink, wink, or can I buy you something to eat, or just things like that. I mean, and although it may come off as, you may think it's it's innocent in their approach, or in your approach or whatever, the women can tell. The women can tell where you coming from, when you're being a little desperate, when when you're basically talking to yourself in their inbox, and they pick up on all those thirsty ass things. They know thirst. But if you're in a position where you can kind of treat them how they treat you, where it's like, whatever, women come a dime a dozen or whatever. Yeah, women are special and all that, but I don't need any one of you. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they can appreciate that. It's better than all the thirst you may be throwing in their direction. And I just think it's really beneficial in the long term that we see women for who they are. That way we'll have less rapes and less domestic violence and all those things, because the only place that I think a woman should be in, for the most part, if we got a man and woman relationship, is just in a feminine role. That's all. I don't want them to make less, if they have the skills, and I don't want them to just be cooking. I like to cook my own food. I mean, I like people to cook for me as well, but women aren't meant to be treated less than, and not even necessarily as equals, but definitely not less than. Okay. And when you're a true man, when you're really masculine, you're not worried about anything like that. You're not worried about women making more money than you. Doesn't matter. I would hope my women make more money than me. I'm inspired. It's good to be inspired by the person you get in bed with. All right. Number 6. You feel less guilty. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but for some reason, when you jerk off a lot, you kind of feel like. Just feel this guilt, like this shame or something. Like people were watching you jerk off or something. When you get around people and things like that, you just feel a little insecure or something. You don't really feel like you got this macho in you, this fire in you and things like that, which brings me back to like the anxiety of it all. Like, I don't know. I've heard that this was the experience for other men, and I knew it was the experience of mine, so I feel like I would mention that. You don't feel guilty. What do you have to feel guilty about? You weren't creepishly jerking off to somebody in your silence, even though, not in your silence, but in your solitude, even though it's expected. I mean, that's how the porn business works, okay? I mean, people know you're jerking off. Most men are jerking off, which is another thing. I'm not worried about what most men do. Most men are unhappy. And I understand that porn websites are the most popular ones. and I don't want to be a part of that. I want to give myself an advantage. And there's always opportunity to give yourself an advantage if you play the contrarian, if you don't play to what the masses want. So always remember that. Number 7, well, you save time. You know, the time picking porn and, you know, wanting to have that best angle to come to and all that. And you want to watch something new, explore something new. You don't have to go through that. And of course, the amount of time that you take jerking off, whether if you want to get straight to it or you want to prolong it for an hour or so. I remember one time I jerked off for about like 3 hours one day, just edging, taking myself to the edge and just stopping and going again. And then I told myself I was doing that to boost my creative energy. But I think it ended with me coming anyway, so that was miserable. But anyway, and even if I didn't come, I think, you know, like, it was just overkill. And that's also something I practice sometimes, edging. I more so did that to give me more energy when I was smoking weed and things like that. It never really quite worked the way that I wanted it to. I haven't tried it since. Maybe I will. I mean, I heard that it may damage your dick and all that, but I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, when you got more energy and all this more fire, you don't really need to, you know. If you just want to feel it for the sake of some pleasure, I guess you're free to do that. Go ahead. And it forces you to be masculine, so you do more masculine things, okay? You want to get things done. You know, you don't just want to pretend to be something. And you don't want to do no catty shit. And you don't care about other people being successful. You don't compare yourself to other people. You just wake up in the morning and you like, okay, let me hop right into my purpose. I know what I gotta do. Yeah, I know I gotta journal. I know I gotta take these cold showers, which I think men should do also. I think men should take nothing but cold showers, which is what I do. It's very rare where I take warm showers. Like, I've taken, if I do take warm showers, it's probably because I'm in a shower with a woman. And women, man, they put that bitch on. They don't even look at the cold. They just put in there. They just go in there and just turn the hot all the way up. That's it. But I mean, if I take a warm shower, it's probably because I just feel just like, I don't know, just beat completely down. But I know I need to wash up. But even then, like, I'm at the point now where it's like, even if I feel weak or whatever, I'm gonna take a cold shower anyway. It ain't gonna last forever. I mean, you ain't gotta be in that bitch for 10 minutes singing and all that. I mean, you can definitely do that, because I've done it. But you damn sure don't have to. So yeah, it forces you to be masculine and get things done. And you're not gonna be a whiny bitch. I mean, you're still gonna be down at times, possibly. I still get down. I was down last night, but it was because I was tired. I was tired and probably hungry, and I understood that. You do something about it, and then you move on. Okay, but it just puts you in a position where you're just like more logical about it. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna take this out on somebody. I may not have the words for them, but I'm not gonna take it out on them. So you don't. Let's see. Number 9. You're not a slave to sex and porn. Okay, so one thing that does happen when you start abstaining from ejaculating is that, I mean, you're gonna have these fucking erections that's just like, pounding on you. Now, although it does get better with time, I've experienced when those things spike, boy, it's every bit of leg you look at is just gonna be like, oh, I gotta jerk off today. Every piece of ass you see is just, oh God, boy, when I go home, it's curtain call. Every little video you see on Facebook or YouTube with some twerking or women uploading them sexy ass pictures. The difference now for me, because I definitely still appreciate all of that. It's like I can look at it from a perspective of like, I appreciate this great piece of art. Like I look at everything, like I appreciate this great piece of art, And 10, no more recovery. No, I mentioned this earlier. You have nothing to recover from at this point. So now your body can work on healing other things. You know, your immune system is going to be stronger, which I guess that's a benefit right there. So you're probably less likely to be to get sick. You know. And here's another thing. Here's number 11 or number 12. Let's just call it number 11. You're more creative. I can't believe I even forgot this one. As a writer, as an artist, you know, you're more creative. That's because all your genius is in your sperm. Okay? If you're not having a baby, you should not be ejaculating, bro. You should not be. You know, well, okay, maybe I ain't a doctor, and maybe I didn't, you know, you're not ready to call me a scientist just yet. Even though I see myself as a scientist. But I just really don't see a point in ejaculating if you're not making a baby. That way, you don't have to worry about any unexpected pregnancies. I mean, if your girl does get pregnant, which is probably a chance, you know, it came from pre-cum or something like that, which may or may not have a little sperm in it. Okay, guys? So once again, every man should practice this. And the ones who are constantly jerking off all the goddamn time, they gonna lose to somebody who don't care about ejaculating all the damn time. Because it really makes no sense to weaken yourself. Like this life right here is a war. This life right here is a fight. Whether if you like it or not. Prepare for it or get ran the fuck over. Hope you got some use out of this, guys. Take care. Make this world a better place.